CTV News at 5 with Hudson Mack.
Heavy snow and poor visibility may have been the reason that a WestJet airliner full of passengers slid off the tarmac in Kelowna this morning. The plane bound for Edmonton was trying to taxi to the runway when it swerved off the tarmac and got stuck in the snow. Passengers were taken off the plane and back to the airport. No one was hurt in the incident, but people on board were certainly shaken up.
We just kind of felt the plane slide and just kind of slid across the runway and onto the grass on the other side. So we were told the right main tires got stuck in the mud and grass under the snow.
Finally, we're on our way and we're going down the tarmac to turn, and all of a sudden I feel a big bang and then the brakes, and I was wondering what was going on.
WestJet took the plane out of service for an inspection. It says it's too early to determine the reason the plane got off course before it even took off, but it is investigating the cause.
I can't speculate on what exactly happened with the flight and the flight crew, but essentially, obviously, it was snowing very heavily, and we were under fairly low visibility conditions.
Most passengers have been told WestJet will get them to Edmonton or their final destinations, but most will not be able to board a flight until tomorrow. A Vancouver-based tour bus company is being sued in the U.S. after one of its tour buses crashed into a ditch late last month and left 9 people dead. A lawyer representing 2 Korean exchange students filed a lawsuit against Miju Tour and Travel. The lawyer says the Canadian bus driver was exhausted and speeding during poor driving conditions. The bus then rammed through a barrier and rolled down a hill, killing 9 people on board who were traveling from Las Vegas and bound for Vancouver. The 2 Korean exchange students were injured but survived the crash. Another landmark bridge in the Capital Region is being replaced. Designs are now done for the Craigflower Bridge replacement project. Saanich and View Royal will jointly release the construction tender later this month. The contract should be awarded by the end of February. The project will include new sidewalks, bike lanes, and road surfaces on Admirals Road between the Island Highway and Cowper Street. Sewer and storm drainage systems will also be replaced. The price tag is estimated at $11.9 million. The roads are expected to close for 7 months, starting this spring. The BC government is stepping up its security measures for care cards in the province. Next month, it's starting a program to replace your old cards with a new form of ID. Beginning February 15th, the Health Ministry is rolling out a 5-year program to introduce a new BC Services card. It will combine your BC driver's license and include a photo along with new security features that make it harder to forge your ID. Everyone between the ages of 19 and 74 will be required to replace their care card with the new Services card. To learn more, visit www.bcservicescard.ca. On his last day in office, Montana's governor has chosen not to grant clemency to an Alberta man on death row. That means the fate of Ronald Smith now rests in the hands of the new governor who took office today. The Red Deer man has been on death row for more than 30 years for murdering 2 men in 1982. Nearly 6 months after a deadly rampage in a Colorado movie theater, prosecutors have begun outlining their case against the accused gunman James Holmes. 12 people were killed and 70 others injured in the Denver suburb of Aurora on July 20th. The preliminary hearing will offer the first public disclosure of evidence and will determine whether the case should go to trial. Holmes has yet to enter a plea. 2 people have been pulled from the water north of Union Bay after a sailboat ran aground. Initially, rescuers reported a woman was dead, but now say she is clinging to life in hospital. Just before 3:30 this afternoon, a Cormorant helicopter was launched from CFB Comox after someone called police saying a sailboat had ran aground just north of Union Bay. When emergency crews arrived, they found a man in the water not far from the beached 9-meter sailboat. CFB Comox originally told us search and rescue technicians found the dead body of a woman in the water as well. They have since corrected that statement, saying the woman is alive in critical condition. Witnesses say paramedics performed CPR for a significant amount of time before transporting her to hospital. RCMP put the man in handcuffs, and witnesses say he was taken away by ambulance after being questioned. Joining us live from Union Bay is CTV's Chandler Grieve. Chandler, what is happening at the scene right now, and has the RCMP said how the sailboat ended up running aground?
Andrew, I just arrived here a few short minutes ago. I just finished speaking with a witness who actually pretty much saw the whole thing. And what she saw caught her eye was a boat doing circular laps close to shore. And she thought it was a bit strange And then she looked out her window again, and the sailboat had run up aground on the shore, and so she came out with her camera. She's an aspiring photojournalist to take some pictures, and what she discovered was a man in serious distress looking around his boat. Then she saw a helicopter in the air. Police started to arrive, and shortly after, the man was put in handcuffs and put in the back of a police cruiser. A woman was then seen in the water, floating in the water. She was taken to shore. Police did CPR, or ambulance services, I should say, did CPR on scene. She was then rushed away. And that's all we can tell you right now. One police officer is still on scene, and that's pretty much the scene right now here in Union Bay, Andrew.
Chandler, thank you.
Thank you.
That's CTV's Chandler Grieve reporting. We'll have more on this story coming up on CTV News at 11 with Cheryl Bloxham, and tomorrow at 5.